Hey, we've got a Boston butt on the Yoder YS640 pellet cooker. It's been going for the last 7 hours. Why don't we take a look at the process, see how we got to where we are right now, and we're cooking it for dinner tonight. So thanks for joining. Let's show you this morning at 6 a.m. and go from there. You know what? Before we do that, I just took that Boston butt off of this rack and I wrapped it in a foil covered pan for the rest of the cook, and some of this bark stayed attached, which I always think of as a pitmaster snack. That is so good. I'm gonna eat every last bit of this. All right, let's show you how we got to where we are. It's freaking good.
About 5:30 in the morning here, and I've got the Yoder YS640 pellet cooker uh, fired up at 275 degrees. I've got this 10-pound pork butt, seasoned it with some Diamond Crystal kosher salt and some Dano's chili lime. Gonna do sort of a Mexican-inspired pulled pork, and we're gonna do it hot and fast. So waiting for the cooker to come up to temperature, and then we'll get it out there and get it on.
Okay, it's right at 6 a.m. We've got our pork butt right in the center of the main rack. I don't even have the upper rack in the Yoder. We're just going to let this thing go at 275. I'm hoping 10 to 12 hours for this 10-pound butt, but we'll just see what happens. We'll check back in at some point. And I've got a bottle of apple cider vinegar and water that I can do some spraying later. And we do have our Yoder Fireboard controller probe plugged in. So we'll monitor the temperature while we're working today and have this for dinner tonight. Okay, so uh, this pork butt has been on for 3 hours almost exactly. Cooker running at 285 right now. Set for 280 actually. I meant to set it for 275, but I think I accidentally set it for 280. And the internal temperature of the Boston butt is at 97 degrees. So we're just going to take a look. I actually have to go to an appointment. So I've made sure I've got pellets in the cooker, and I'm going to be gone for a little while. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why I love a pellet cooker. Love my offset too, but I couldn't leave it for an hour or two, like you can a pellet cooker. So let's take a look. Ooh, that's pretty. That fat rendering nicely. I did do that crosshatch pattern before I seasoned it. Get some seasoning work down in there a little bit and just open that up so it can render nicely. Um, so I'm not going to do anything to this. I take that back. I'm holding my gimbal, so when I stop the video and put it down, I am going to turn this roast just to give it a little different view inside the cooker, different hot spots that so we can try to do an even cook. That's all I'm going to do. And so we will come back, probably take a look at this after lunch, maybe when it gets to the 130, 140, just before it hits a stall. We'll look again. So we're going to check the pork butt. It is sitting at 140 internal. Um, so probably going to wrap it before too long, and maybe another 20 degrees. Um, my son brought a case of this stuff home, and I freaking love it. Uh, nice energy burst without being drastic and weird. Um, it tastes good. I love it. Love the stuff. It really, you can feel it in your mind, just kind of thinking really clearly. It's noticeable to me. Not sponsored. If you're listening, Newtonic, you can certainly sponsor. I'll drink one of these in every video. That's all I got. Let's look at this pork butt. All right, here we are. This looks great. Getting a nice bark. That fat is rendering really nicely. We are right at 5 hours into this cook now. I am going to turn this again once I put the camera down. We are at 140. Let me check that actually. 143 internally, so probably in the next 20 to 30 degrees we're going to wrap this. And then there's not going to be a lot to see until we pull it off and let it rest and pull it. So looking great, really happy with this cook, love the odor. We'll be back. Okay, we have been on just over 7 hours. I've been forgetting my AirPods, which helps with the sound, so I hope the sound is okay. I guess we'll find out. But let's take a look at this. I am almost certainly gonna wrap it. Oh yeah. Ooh, nice and soft, pillowy fat. Looks really good. All right, so I brought out a pan that's got some vegetable broth and some hot sauce. I'm going to get that roast down in the pan, or I'm gonna leave the thermometer in, and either that or I'll take it out and put it back in. Again, I'm using my phone with the gimbal here, so I am gonna put the camera down. Then we're just gonna wrap it, and there's gonna be nothing to do except for watch the temperature. And when it hits around 200, 202, I'm gonna test the tenderness, and it'll probably be good. So we'll see you when this thing's done. Again, we are 7 hours in, and I expect another 3 or 4 hours. I think wrapping it will help it get done quicker. And we're eating this for dinner tonight. See you in a while. Okay, literally nothing to see here, but cooker's running great at 280. This pork butt has been on, let me do the math, 9.5 hours, and it is at 205 degrees internal, a little more than I would have even wanted it. Of course, tenderness is your real key. I've done enough of these to know that temperature is going to be nice and tender. I'm not concerned about that at all. So I'm not even going to probe this, but you really should. So don't do what I say, not what I do, and probe it. Make sure that meat is just as tender as it can be. But I've got our Breville Smart Oven on 140 degrees inside, so I'm going to take this in. I'm going to let it cool for probably 15-20 minutes, and then I'm going to throw it in that Breville Smart Oven at 140 degrees until we are ready to open it up and give her a try. So I will see you. We're probably 2 hours or so away from eating, so it'll be perfect timing for this. So we'll see you then. Okay, so our pork's been resting in the Smart Oven at 140 degrees for about an hour. I've got a kid who's wanting to eat, so we're gonna feed him. So let's get this pulled. Looks really good. Love the way that bark looks. With pork, because you wrap it a lot of times, you're not gonna get a crunchy bark, but it's still really good. So pull out that thermometer. Got another pan to put this in, but let's just take out the built-in thermometer and see how it does. So that's what you always want to see, clean bone. That out of the way. I can't resist trying this. Woo! Still very hot, actually. Just look at that way it breaks apart. Perfectly cooked. I always say if you're just starting to barbecue, cook outside, pork is what you want to do. Pork butt, it's hard to mess up. It really is. So what I like to do is get a separate container and just start breaking it apart. Some people like it chopped, some people like it in the string form. You can also just have chunks. I usually kind of do a combination of both. And then you'll find some intermuscular fat, which is a good thing, but you want to kind of pick through that and not have big hunks of that in your final pile of pulled pork. So that's what I use the second container for, but some of that outside fat and skin with the seasoning, oh man, that's so freaking good. That Dana is chili lime, nice flavor, and there's not a ton of salt. So I salted mine and then used that Dana's chili lime. That's one thing about his seasonings. He doesn't put a lot of salt in them. So you can use a lot of it and get that good flavor without over salting. So I tell you what, I'm gonna not worry about trying this on camera. It's freaking good. I can tell you that. And we will see you next time at BuQeye BBQ. Thanks for joining. Do me a favor, like this video, subscribe to the channel. Um, and I've got another idea for a cook I really want to do. Started to do it the other night and had a pellet mishap. I ran out in the middle of the night, had to pitch it. It was awful. But we're going to pick that up and do it again. So we will see you soon.